Welcome to this short video showing how you can set up an iPad mini with the Voiceover screen reader. Once you take your iPad mini out of the box and have taken off all of the bits of plastic around it, you can turn the unit on. You first of all get the Apple logo and it will come on to a welcome screen after about half a minute. Once that welcome screen appears, you can then start the Voiceover screen reader and continue the setup from there. I can now triple tap with the home button and turn Voiceover on.
Voiceover on.
You might need to play with the volume buttons at the right hand side of the screen in order to get the volume as you like it.
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa.
What's going on the screen now is it's cycling around the word hello in lots of different languages.
Hello. Hello.
There it is in English. If I swipe to the right and then double tap.
Set up. British English.
On the next screen you're asked for a language, and this is to do with Voiceover. I can just double tap again to choose that.
Back button.
And now I can swipe to find which country I'm in.
Select your country or region. United Kingdom.
And double tap to choose that again.
Back button.
Whenever you get the back button, it just means that the screen has changed and you can swipe to the right to find out what's on it.
Choose a Wi-Fi network. BT Open Zone. Runit Skype 2. Secure. Signal strength 83%. Double tap to join the network.
Notice that if I leave it for a couple of seconds, it actually gives me an indication, a hint of what to do. So I can double tap.
Password. Secure. Text field. Is editing.
And now I need to type in our password. When typing in a password, you need to find the letter that you want to type, then take your finger off and double tap the screen in order to put that in. So I'll just demonstrate by finding the last letter of this password, which is the letter Y. I can put my finger on the screen.
B H letter Y.
And when I've found it, I can take my finger off and double tap anywhere on the screen to input that letter. And then to find join, I can either use the join key on the keyboard or the join button towards the top of the screen, and I can find either of those with my finger and double tap.
L. Join. Join. In progress. Next button enabled. Back button. Continue button.
I have to also enable location services, which is the next bit on the screen, and I'll just show you a slightly different way that I can get to things. As well as being able to swipe left and right, I can put my finger anywhere on the screen, as I did on the keyboard, and move it around to find something. So I'll find the enable location services.
About location what is location services? Heading. Disable location enable location services.
And then leaving my finger on the screen, I can tap on the screen anywhere with another finger.
Set up as new iPad.
When you're doing that, moving your finger around the screen, if you hear a dinging noise like this, all that means is that you're on the touch sensitive area of the iPad, not the bezel around the edge, which is not touch sensitive, but there is nothing actually underneath your finger. So I'm going to find out the next bit that I need to do now. So I'm going to start near the top of the screen.
540 back. Set up iPad. Heading. Set up as new iPad. Sign in with your Apple ID.
And now I'm going to go back to swiping.
Create a free Apple ID. Sign in with your Apple ID. Create a free Apple ID. Skip this step. Button.
Normally I'd use an Apple ID, but I don't want to waste the time by typing in a password.
Are you sure? You must have an Apple ID. Skip. Button. Back button. Terms and conditions. Send by email. Important. Please read the following terms before using your iOS device.
I can tap with two fingers on the screen at any point to stop Voiceover speaking. For some reason, the back and next buttons have been at the top of the screen up until now. The agree and disagree buttons have actually moved to the bottom of the screen. So if I want to find them, I need to keep swiping right until I get there.
Okay. Please, if you disagree, agree.
And then double tap.
Terms and conditions. I agree to the iOS terms and conditions. Cancel. Agree. Button.
I prefer doing the swiping on the screen because it means I don't need to know where things are. I can just swipe left and right, find the thing I want, and then double tap anywhere.
Hide keyboard. Double tap and hold to alter keyboard.
So it might not be obvious. What we're being asked here for is a passcode, and again, if I put my finger on the screen, I can find this out.
Create a passcode. Enter a 4-digit passcode. Don't add passcode button.
And I'm going to do that one for the time being. I don't care who sees what's on my iPad.
Don't add passcode. A passcode secures your iPad. Add passcode. Continue. Button. Siri helps you get things done just by asking. You can send a message, dictate a note, or check.
Again, this is an odd one in that the area that takes focus is now at the bottom of the screen, and I need to move towards the top of the screen.
Siri? Don't use Siri. Use Siri.
To choose things.
Back button. Diagnostics. Automatically send. Welcome to iPad. Get started. Button. Home. FaceTime. Double tap to open.
And that's it. That's gone through the setup now. Hopefully you can see that with Voiceover, the built-in screen reader, it's possible to start that up by triple tapping the home button after you've initially turned your iPad on, and then go through the whole of the setup process using Voiceover. Unfortunately, it's not possible to do the same thing with Zoom, the built-in magnifier, but at least it means you can do it with Voiceover, and then once you've got to this stage and your iPad is set up, you can turn Voiceover off and turn Zoom on. Setting up your iPad in this way also has the effect of setting the triple click for the home button to being to switch Voiceover on and off. In other words, now I can triple click.
Voiceover off.
And it turns Voiceover off, and if I triple click again,
Voiceover on.
I hope you found that short demonstration useful. Thank you. This video was using an iPad mini and iOS version 7.0.4.
RNIB, supporting blind and partially sighted people.